Good to know all. I hope you had a wonderful exam. We wait for another 1 minute and then we will start. Fine. So I want to start today's session with two videos. One video is of 59 seconds and second video is of 2 minutes. And then we'll have discussion on it. It's not related to effective technical communication directly. It is related to you people, people of computer engineering, people of future engineers, future technocrats. Fine. You must have seen that video on television sets. You must have come across that kind of thing on social media. However, I would like to show you that one. Fine. So we can go for it. I guess those who wanted to join have already joined. So we can start right now. Okay. Can you see this? Okay, fine. So we will start this. I'll play it for twice so that you can get the idea about it.
Okay, okay. No, I'll meet you guys. आज तो फोन छोड़ दी. I love it. अच्छा सुनो. तुम्हारी choices. Last. Madam जी ने भी. You like it? और मम्मी का गिफ्ट किसी ने नहीं सोचा. सबसे मीठा गिफ्ट तुम्हारे लिए. मेरे लिए. हमारे आसपास की जो दुकानें हैं उनकी दिवाली भी तो मीठी होनी चाहिए ना।
Okay, could you find the voice? Because voice is also important. Everyone, can anyone please acknowledge? Okay, fine. I'll replay it.
आज तो फोन छोड़ दी। हरी चॉइसेस। मैडम जी बोली। You like it? और मामी का गिफ्ट इसीलिए नहीं सोचा। सबसे मीठा गिफ्ट तुम्हारे लिए। ये मेरे लिए। हमारे आसपास की जो दुकानें हैं उनकी दिवाली भी तो मीठी होनी चाहिए ना।
Fine. So, can anybody tell me how we can connect computer engineering with this? What is the role of a computer engineer in this advertisement? Why I thought of showing you this ad? Any logic? Any idea about it? You can unmute your mic and speak, or you can type whatever is comfortable to you. I'll give you 1 minute time. Just think about it. Yes, why I presented this ad to you people. Specifically, you means computer engineers. It's been a long time we have met online. I guess it was a week or so. It has been a gap of 15 days. We could not meet, so I thought this can be the best way to reconnect with my dear students. Any idea? Okay, fine. Now I'll show you the another video, and then you will know that. Now you need to understand. You will get the idea that why I showed you. But what is the logic? What can be done that you need to tell me? Fine. Okay. Oh, that advanced technology in AI. Parth. Yes, yes, yes. This is something I was looking for. Now you will get the more idea about it with this 2 minutes video.
more than 6 crore small businesses, and they've been fighting for survival after the coronavirus outbreak and the lockdowns. Presenting not just a Cadbury ad. We advertised not just for ourselves, but for thousands of small businesses across India. The idea was innovative, but the technology and execution was challenging. Most of the stores in India don't have a digital presence. So we had to manually feed our system to create a database of local retailers, mapping them to their location, which we identified through pin codes. As the ad was served to an individual, an algorithm located the pin code and then mapped the various local stores in that pin code and served the one closest to the individual in real time. The AI-enabled system created thousands of permutations for the localized version of the same ad. So many that it is even impossible to track. This resulted in the first ever hyper-personalized ad ever. One that ensured every single person that saw the ad supported a local store. Because when all of us support our local stores, all of us can have a happy Diwali, not just a Cadbury ad.
Fine. So whatever Parth mentioned, right, it is somewhere connecting. First, hyper personalized ad. See, I tell you that every time it's not necessary to create, innovate something, but leveraging is something that can make a lot of differences. Now, postal department had never ever thought of that their pin code numbers can be utilized for ads, right, by Cadbury, and that can be met with Google Maps. So you need to be innovative in leveraging, using the technology which is existing, which is around us. So it's time for more about application, right? This is what I wanted to share with you people in first 15-20 minutes time, right? So this is what I wanted to say. Anybody would like to share anything more about it? This is purely based off AI. These people later talk about AI like anything, fine. So AI is a buzzword. It's a kind of fancy word that people love to use it in their day-to-day conversation when they talk about certain things. But what exactly AI is, this is the best example. I would like to inspire you, motivate you people for your software, for this software engineering projects. It can be one of the projects for you people that local for vocal or vocal for local. This tag, how we can go for it. So just think about it. That look at the e-commerce giants. That they loot us, they take money from us, and it goes to some other country. So we are the people, technocrats here. We design, we create such platforms, we strengthen those platforms, and then it goes to somebody's pocket. So why can't we flip that pocket? That pocket can be ours. It can be a mammoth task, enormous task, but that is doable. That is not impossible. This is what I personally believe. And being your teacher for 2 semesters, almost for a year, I could know that people have got potential to do something. You can go extra mile. That's the reason, right? First, I thought of sharing this ad to your WhatsApp group. I thought that I need to have something in addition to that to share my views on it. That's why I decided to share this ad during my session. Fine. So very quickly, within 2 minutes time, your reactions, your suggestions, your comments on this two videos, how we can do something, right? And then we'll go ahead with the next phase of our session. Apart from Parth, can I get somebody else? Anybody from the female brigade? This is not a test. It's about expressing things. Parth, if you can nominate somebody, we can go for victim shopping. Man, Man, if you are there, Hindi, English, Gujarati, no worries. I wish even somebody else. It can be. I know that people are there who can speak, who can share. Right. For example, Justy is there, Milani is there, Nandini is there, Nupur is there, Sanjana, Rutvi, Vrunda. Right. There are lots of people. Suman, would you like to share? Don't waste your time in typing. You can speak. I've taken your names, randomly. So don't take it that I specifically whom I asked, only those people can answer. It can be anybody else, right? I love to be surprised, and somebody whom I have not asked come up and says that I'll speak. Okay, one common question which everybody can answer: do we have class tomorrow? Could you get the timetable for tomorrow's class? I guess you need to check. Fine. Okay. So what shall we do is we'll go for quick revision for unit 1 and 2 today. Tomorrow we'll have unit test 6, which is remaining, right? And whatever doubts you have for unit number 3 and 4, you can collect and you can ask me. Fine. We'll go in that way. So today I'll talk about unit 1 and 2. We'll have quick recap on this. Fine. Okay. Parth, nobody agrees with us. Okay, so I'll not make you bore. We'll make it faster in a way so that we can go ahead. We can complete today's session in the time given time, right? And tomorrow onwards, next lecture onwards, we'll only invite doubts, so that if you have any question or query, you can ask me and we can go ahead with that. So we'll start with unit number 1. So I'm planning to complete unit 1 and 2 today, right? Okay. Fine. So we started with this. Communication is one of the most indispensable aspects of human existence. So since the beginning of this semester, we have been talking about the importance of communication, that what communication is and how it is important, whether we believe it or not, whether we recognize it or not, right? But it is everywhere, right? Since the birth, baby starts breathing, right, and till the last breath of that person, it goes on. Fine, we may not identify, even if the person dies, his picture or her picture is hanged on the wall, and that quality of that picture, that frame, right, everything communicates. So it's not only living or non-living things, it's everything around us that communicates, right? So that is what we had discussed about. When we talk about communication, so it talks about establishing commonness. That means that if you talk about Venn diagrams, so A and B, that should have a maximum common area, gray area. The more gray area is, the more comfortable people are while communicating, right? So it is this is the definition. Quickly go through it. Okay, so what Newman says, because sometimes in MCQ, in exam, it is asked. So I guess people are aware that this time there will be descriptive exams. Fine. So tomorrow we'll have a discussion on GTU's previous papers, so we can discuss about those questions, how it is asked and all. Right. Okay. So here, communication. The word communication means sharing, exchanging. So here, when there is a communication, there is always exchange of something. It can be facts, opinions, ideas, emotions, anything, and that should be two parties, right? It can be one person, but there can be two parties called sender and receiver. If you're talking to yourself, then in that case, you is the sender, yourself is a receiver. So in that way, Newman says, if you remember, I told you that there was a beautiful sentence in English, that I am only responsible for what I speak. I'm not responsible for what people understand. So this is something we need to understand, right? To complete the cycle of communication, it should be conveyed in the same way as you intended to convey, you thought of conveying. So here, and Keith Davis says that it's like a bridge. Communication is a bridge between sender and receiver. Fine. So if you have good communication skills, that in that way that message can pass cross the bridge easily, otherwise it falls in the river. Fine. So that is the important thing. Fine. So we need to get stay connected. So which are the two words I have not used in discussing? That was the first question of first unit of first lecture. So which were the two words? I need you people to type in the chat box. Transmission, emotions, sharing, body language, barrier, commonness, ideas. Which are the two words which have not been discussed? barrier and body language. Okay, let's see. Exactly. Good. Excellent. Okay. So let's go for the next process of communication. I'll directly take you to this diagram. Now there is one question which has been asked many times in semester 1 and semester 3 when the subject was communication skills and when the subject changed to effective technical communication, right? The question has been asked for 3 marks. I can say that it has been asked more than 6 times, right? In exams. The question is, uh, explain the statement. Feedback is considered as a reversal process. Why? Why feedback is also called reversal process? If you look at the diagram, you'll get to know that why it is so. This can be asked in one MCQ type question also. Exactly, Ruddha. Because if you look at the arrows, right, it moves from, yes, exactly. So if you look at this, here the arrows are there that moves in the same direction. Whereas when message reaches to the receiver, right? So here what happens that it goes in the reverse order, and here receiver becomes sender and sender becomes receiver. So cycle is changed. So it goes 360 degree, 180 plus 180, and that's why it is called reversal process. So this is going to be asked in exam. So that's why it is important that you understand it clearly, right? Okay. I may not talk about uh, the details of elements. Sender. Who is a sender? The person who thinks of message, right? Is a sender. What is the another name of sender? What is the another name of sender? Tell me. Encoder. Okay. Sometimes you must have seen that. Yeah, speaker. Very good. Above sender, the people some diagrams have TX and receiver has RX. So what is TX and RX? In medical prescription also you find written the word RX. RX is receiver. So what is TX? Vrunda is right, Keval is right. Encoder and yes, Nandini, excellent. Transmitter. The person who transmit, exactly. Here we find the root word trans is working. Trans means to change. Fine. Can we get 5 words related to trans, which are made of the word trans? Any 5 words other than translation and transmitter? Transport, okay. transfer. Very good part. Excellent. Now I'm going to ask you one question that if you want to using C language, if you want to display right in the center of the screen, Happy Diwali, simple, fine. Which command of C language will you use? See, go to X5, forget about it. But which command you will use? You forget about Studio, Conio, everything. Yes, Runda, printf. Now you are typing printf into inverted commas Happy Diwali, and when you complete the program, it is displayed. What is this process called? This process is called encoding. This process is called encoding. Right? People call it coding, but coding is a noun, encoding is a verb. So when the sender right convert his or her message idea into message, right, what can be displayed with what can be shared, what can be conveyed, what can be transmitted, right, that process is called encoding. Fine. So you can write in your own language. It's not necessary that you use whatever content I have provided, right, or what you have seen on the screen, but you can write on your own too. So encoding is there. Channel, right? For example, if you have this TV, right, or disconnection. So yesterday you must have watched IPL match, how Sunrisers Hyderabad and Delhi, Capitals. They had a neck to neck fight, and there was a very thin line for this, winning the match. So in that playoff, right, a semi-final type of match. So here, that could reach to your television screen through channel, right? Or if you're watching through Star Plus or Star Sports, or whatever it is, it can be Hotstar even. So that is channel, right, through which things are transmitted, right? And then whatever the process of encoding is, decoding. For example, if you got very beautiful or wonderful, interesting mobile application in APK form, you want to see that how it works. So you can decompile it. There are decompilers. Decompiler means DE is there. There is reverse, right? So encoding, decoding is there. For example, those who are learning how to cook, and you love certain vegetables of certain hotels. For example, if you have tried veg bakkanwala from any restaurant, it can be loads, right? If you test it from loads, veg makhanwala is a mind blowing test. If I want to learn that how to cook that particular veg makanwala, right, what I'll do is I'll ask for two parcels. One parcel, I put it there in the big bowl of water. Fine. And I'll check that what are the ingredients. When you put there on the in the water, right, it will start dissecting, right, and separating. So from there we can come to know that okay, what are the things they have cooked or they have mixed up. That is decoding, decompiling. And then it reaches to the receiver. Now from receiver gives his or her feedback, right, by responding, and that is feedback. So in that way the cycle gets completed, right? Okay, any problem till now, everybody? Fine. Now if what if the message is not conveyed properly? What do we call it? If the message is not conveyed properly, what do we call it? There was one word which we had not used in the discussion, which Keval answered. That is barrier. Barriers to communication. Fine. So there can be barriers. We need to check out that we don't find such kind of barriers. Barriers are of many types. So we'll not consider that. We'll not go into detail about it because we have discussed about it. I'll directly jump to the next one. This is body language. So in the simplest words, if I want to know that what is the difference between verbal communication and non-verbal communication, how we can define it? 1 minute time. Please tell me. I want a simple equation, simple sentence, one line answer. Yes. So what can be the answer? Verbal is equal to with words. Non-verbal is equal to without words. Fine. So here, when we talk about body language, kinesics, that is what we call it non-verbal communication. First one is head. So you need to use your head. Don't lose it. Fine. Head is a symbol of your self-respect. So if you hold your head high, right, that gives you if you're confident, you can do that. If you are at fault, you will find that your head is down. So we use in that way, right? So one is head. Second is facial expressions. Right? Your face is the mirror of your thoughts. So whatever ideas, things are going on in your heart, right? That is reflected in the on your face. So facial expressions are very important. In that you can find your eyes, right? Your face. So that conveys the message. You can. That's why I used to tell you people that your body speaks before you speak. Your body speaks before you speak, right? That is very important. So facial expressions, we need to be very careful about it. See here, the people who are good looking, handsome, beautiful, all these things comes from within. I tell you, fine. So people with pure heart will be attractive. That's for sure. So here, that negativity, that frustration, that depression, those all ill things should be removed, so that you can find that your face is just like a fresh flower. Fine. So that is important. Eye contact gives you confidence. The more if your eyes are if you establish eye contact with people, fine, in that case you can definitely reflect that your people have got that confidence to deal with the people. Fine. If you could not, if you fail to communicate, if you fail to establish eye contact, in that case it shows that you are not confident enough. But we need to be very careful that looking in people's eye, uh, there are many words. For example, for seeing, looking, see, look, gaze, glance, peep, right, stare. Fine. So if you're looking in somebody's eyes, it's good. But if you're staring somebody around, that's not a good sign. It's a bad sign. So in that case, there can be a problem. Fine. So you need to keep things in that mind. Gestures. Fine. Generally, people say that it's a good gesture. We liked it. We loved it. So the gesture symbols very good. Showing a V mark. Showing your fingers, your thumb, right? That also share. kind of message. But we should be careful that because that can be a problem. For example, sign for the tea, right? Asking for the tea, cup of tea, asking for the same sign can be used for strategic time, that can be used for time police, that can be used for top secret. So it varies from person to person. So for that purpose, we need to have that gray area in a bigger size. Right? Posture, right? Posture, is included the way you pose. By having selfie, I clicking photographs, we said that there should be a good pose, right? So that pose requires, right, things to be done. So we need to be careful about it, how we are standing, how we are sitting, and when we are sitting, what is the situation of our legs, our hands. That also convey a message. This is you need to learn. I told you at the time that when you talk about any international hotel, you will find that the distance of waiting area and the inquiry, that would be having at least 12 feet of distance. If you come to Marwari, you will find that in the reception area, where the reception table is and where the sofas are settled, so there is a gap of 12 feet, right? This is logical, right? Because otherwise we can have one or two classrooms there, right? But why we are keeping those things vacant? If because space has a certain thing, because it shows your class. If you look at the advertisement of local trader or local brand, you will find that everything is jam packed, it's overcrowded, right? In advertisement, if you look at the Adidas, or if you look at the advertisement of Aero, if you look at the advertisement of Nike, right? They they have advertisement of quarter page, and they have written only 4 or 5 lines. Why is it so? Because that space you occupy shows your class. That's why people live in 2 BHK flat and people have 300 yards of bungalow. So that space makes lots of difference. So here the space is divided in 4 parts: intimate zone, personal zone, social zone, and public zone. So these are the things that you know very well. If you have any question, you can ask me. This is applicable when we specifically we talk about when two parties interact of opposite gender, right? Nowadays we have got a new word uh, during this IPL, bio bubble. So bio bubble is your space given to you, your biological air. Everybody has got air bubble. This is called bio bubble. That means within that range only you can communicate with people. Otherwise, if you cross that bio bubble, in that case you will be suspended for 2 matches. So that is the importance of space, right? And why I'm telling you that you can use such kind of examples even in the exam. Para language, para means like. So we have lots of ideas uh, to leave impact in the minds of others. So para means related, is like the way we have paramedical staff, the way paramedical paramilitary force, right? Like this. So here, what are the ways with which we can add flavors to our speech? Because we have limited number of words, but even with those words, with those sentences, if you want to leave a kind of impact in the listener, in the audience, how we can do that? We can do it through vocalics. One is quality of voice. Fine. So for that, you need to have practice. The people who are not used to speak a lot, right? This is for boys, right? Okay. And the girls who are not married. Fine. So I think it applies to everybody, because here boys and girls both are unmarried and still happy, right? So here, if you're not used to speak, right? If you start speaking, right, in that way, what happens that you fail to complete the sentence, because that air thing that we need, because breathing that we face problem. So here in that way it can help us. So that quality of voice should be there. Volume, if you want to speak certain things, that increasing decreasing volume, that also plays important role. If you want to share secret, you cannot scream and loudly speak. For example, somebody asks you that what is the pin number of your mobile phone or ATM card, you cannot loudly speak from the third floor to the ground floor, right? So these are the things that we need to understand. So volume plays over there a vital role. Speed. Today, as we're working on this revision session, so there can be more, there can be a little bit speed. But if I teach you with the same speed for the first time, you will not be able to understand. Why? Because you are doing learning for the first time, you will not be able to connect. That's why. So speed plays a vital role over there. What stress? Same sentence, but if you want to emphasis on particular part of the sentence, that makes a lot of difference, right? So I did not break the glass. I did not break the glass, or I did not break the glass. So the emphasis given on the word can make the sentence meaning. Poses. If you pause for a while, in that case, poses are good if you want to create a kind of enthusiasm or curiosity, right? But it should not be too much, right? Pause for few seconds can help you to create curiosity. Otherwise, if you pause for more time, people will consider you as bula, right? So when there are more pauses, you can be Johnny Lever as bula, and they will say, okay, he has forgotten something. So it should not be that much. It's a speed breaker, so you can shift the gear. It's not need to park your vehicle there. I'm talking in terms of your sentences. Pronunciation, that makes a lot of difference. Native speaker, non-native speakers, but I tell you that so far as pronunciation is concerned, you don't need to copy or mimic people, right? The people who are there in America or Britain. You speak in a way that people understand. That is the logic one, right? There's one word which has been very popular for pronunciation, that's called RP, right? RP is recid pronunciation. Fine. That means it should be neutral one. It should not have any bias, any flavor. Fine. If you can speak like that, you can be accepted in any corner of the world. There's no problem. Right? Even in the center of the world, there's no problem. There's no need to go to the corner. Fine. For interpersonal communication, I guess we have a lot of time discussed that we all are interdependent. Fine. We require somebody, and we are required by somebody. So that's why interpersonal communication is very, very important. Fine. So here, intercultural and interpersonal, that makes your life easy, or that can make your life hell. That depends on you how you take it. Fine. Okay. So I guess there's overdose of my speaking. Fine. So we can hold it here, and I can take shift the charge to you people. Fine. So tell me, first of all, everybody write down your roll numbers, enrollment numbers for attendance purpose, so I can mark your attendance, and then we'll have discussion. Fine. So if you have not completed your assignments, right, you submit it. I have kept those forms links open, so you can complete that starting from book review, resume, all this. Fine. So things links are open. You can submit it. Tomorrow onwards, that is Wednesday, after 12 Wednesday, I'll close the links. So by that time you can complete it. Tomorrow for unit number 6, the one unit test is remaining, so I'll conduct that thing. And for half lecture, the way part says, so we'll have revision on call. For example, any topic, any question you have, you can discuss, and we can have discussion. We can put it on. We can take it on the board, and we can discuss about it. Except we'll talk about. Okay, what happened to Nupur, Nishita?
Present.
Hello.
I'm present, sir.
Okay, Nupur is present. Fine.
I'm not
Okay.
able to text my attendance. Yes, sir.
It's okay, no issue. Fine. So tomorrow I'll share with you people the GTU's paper, question papers, so that we can have a discussion on it. And unit number 6, unit test is remaining for half a lecture. We'll complete that one. And whatever questions, doubts we have, we'll have discussion on it. Fine. Okay. So, Parth, can we call it for a day? Okay, thank you, Parth, for taking the charge of Henil. Fine. Okay, thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow with new way of revising things. Fine. Have a nice day. Thank you all.